Bonjour, hi, welcome back. My name is Anik. Welcome back to Feel Good Club. We're gonna do some yummy yin yoga today. Take it super slow. It's all meant to re-energize ourselves and to fuel ourselves and just take it slow, basically. We're not gonna do anything intense at all. So all you need is a mat, really. You can even do this in bed. You don't need props, but if you do want props, you have a bolster, blocks, you can have a blanket, anything that is up to you. And you can also have some essential oils, set some music, set the tone. We have a playlist for all things on Feel Good Club, so feel free to choose any of that. We're going to start off just by staying seated. You can grab a block and just place it under you, just like that. Cross your legs however it's comfortable. Even if you don't have a block, you can maybe put your back against a wall. It doesn't have to be anything specific, just as long as your back stays nice and tall. Go ahead and place your hands either on the knees, facing down, or the palms can face up. There's always the option of your hand over the heart and the belly for more of a protective feeling. And then there's also the right hand over the left in the middle of your lap to make it more grounding, more humble. And when you're ready, you can roll your shoulders back, open up the chest, and slightly tuck the chin down towards your chest. Option to close down the eyes, like I said, or just lowering your gaze, finding a comfortable spot to just begin to turn inwards towards yourself. And I welcome you to start taking a few deep breaths in and out, just through the nose for the moment. Taking the time to check in with yourself. Observing the body, noticing if there's any tension in the hips, the spine, the shoulders, the jaw. You can begin to find some softness throughout the face, relaxing the forehead, the eyebrows, and further down. You can allow for the eyelids to lay heavy on the eyes, maybe separating the teeth in your mouth, allowing the tongue to drop down from the roof of your mouth as well. And beginning to melt down into the body. Stay with the breath, and if you can, begin to elongate it. Starting to breathe in for 5 seconds long through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhaling for 5 on your own. Exhaling for 7. Keep going on your own. Inhale for 5, exhale for 7. Allow for the exhale to always be longer than the inhale. We want to empty our stomachs of air all the way. Keep going, staying focused. If you lose track of the breath, then just bring yourself back without judgment and start again. Inhaling for 5, exhaling for 7, just through the nose. Notice that the shoulders begin to move upwards towards the ears and consciously make the effort to lower them back down. 5 more breaths on your own. Three more. And your last one. Exhale, release all the way. Inhale through the nose, fill the lungs, fill the belly, and hold it for 15 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Release. Exhale it out through the mouth. Come back to the normal breath, normal rhythm. Staying here, observing the breath, the body. You may stay with the eyes closed. I'm going to play us a singing bowl using some low frequency. Just take in the music, the vibration. This is a low frequency meant for the lower regions of the body, the sacral area, the stomach. We want to ground ourselves. So take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out. Keep going, deep breaths. Relax the face once again. Return to the breath. And when you're ready, you can gently begin to lower down onto your back, onto your mat, or onto the bed. We'll set the block out to the side for now. We'll use it in just a moment. All we're going to do is turn around and move into Baddha Konasana, supine variation. That means we have the knees separated towards each side, the soles of the feet are together, and you can use your blocks just like this to place under the legs and elevate your blood. From there, your arms can stretch out to each side or a hand over the chest and the belly, eventually closing down the eyes if you opened them and returning back to the breath. From here, we want to focus on the lower back, the sacrum, the coccyx, gently releasing more and more consciously. If it helps, you can shimmy the shoulders further down, tuck the chin a bit towards the chest. And we'll stay here for a few breaths, get comfy. You can enter the abyss. We want to stay in a relaxed yet alert position. So if you notice yourself drifting off, gently bring yourself back. Maybe move some fingers to return back to the physical body. The practice of yin yoga is a relaxing physical practice, although we're aiming to go deeper. We're aiming to observe and bring awareness to the mind, where our mind is being pulled, where it gets attracted to naturally. We're here to become masters of ourselves in a way that we can understand what is going on underneath, the undercurrent. So for those who have a hard time calming down, slowing down, this is exactly the practice that they should be doing. And it is not always an easy one. So be gentle, be kind to yourself. Once again, find softness in the jaw, maybe separating the teeth. You can move your jaw side to side. And stay with the breath. You should feel how the breath moves through the diaphragm, into the belly, and back up, through the chest, the throat, the nose. If you're coming onto the mat today with a lot of tension, or you're holding on to anything at all, I welcome you to inhale through the nose, open the mouth, sigh it out. This will help you release more and more every time. Allowing it to be audible, and doing it as many times as is necessary. We'll take the last 3 breaths in this posture. Enjoy these last 3. And one more. If you'd like to keep the eyes closed, you can do that. Otherwise, we're going to gently move the fingers, the toes, begin to open up the eyes, lift the knees up, and you can set the blocks to the side once again. From here, we'll bring the heels out, toes in, allow for the knees to fall in towards the center, towards each other, and you can tuck the tailbone underneath to help with the lower back. Once again, hands can go to each side of the hips, outwards, or over the heart and the belly. If you feel that you have a lot of energy today, you can always bring the arms overhead, clasping the elbows, opening up the chest. Find the comfortable position for yourself. And stay here just a few breaths, once again, focusing on the lower back. Deep breaths, nice and slow. There is no rush, no responsibility other than being here now on your mat, doing exactly what we're doing. We'll do 5 more breaths and then move on to the next one. Find your presence. Notice on your inhale when it begins to do a U-turn and becomes an exhale. And the last deep breath in. Exhale it out. And gently begin to move the fingers, the toes. Option to open up the eyes once again. And from here, we'll bring the knees together towards the chest. Wrap your arms around and curl in. You can stay on your back and begin to roll along your spine, side to side, massaging your back. And eventually, you can either grab the big toes or outsides of the feet for happy baby. Lift the heels, stay here if you'd like, or you can always extend side to side, just like that. Stretching out the backs of the legs. You might feel your leg crack here and there. It's totally normal. And eventually, bringing the knees together, curling back in. From here, we're going to go for a side bend. You can extend the legs all the way, arms overhead. And from there, keep the hips exactly where they're at. We're just going to move the upper body and the feet over to the right, all the way. You're creating a banana shape with the body. Feel free to grab your left wrist and pull if you'd like. You can always place the left leg over the right as well for a deeper expression. We'll stay here for a few breaths. If you're cold, you can always place a blanket over the body and stay here. Once again, unclenching the jaw and finding softness. In yin yoga, these are relatively soft and easy postures, but you should be feeling that edge. You should still feel the muscles being stretched, a slight discomfort to the point where you still feel the body is working, it's stretching, it's releasing. Still finding that edge. If you're able to move the body to the right even more, then go for it. Challenge yourself. You should feel the stretch on the outside of the body. Maybe it's the left hip, the rib cage. And deep belly breaths. Your arms should still be laid back onto the mat. Your arms are not lifted. There should be no engagement here other than that slight edge of pulling for the side bend. And we'll move to the other side shortly. Take your time if you'd like to move the fingers, the toes, maybe opening up the eyes and eventually moving to the other side. Same thing, keep the hips where they're at, and you're just gonna inch over to the left, feet inch over to the left. Option to grab your right wrist, option to stack the right leg over the left, and go for that banana shape, left side. Stay here, deep breaths. You should feel the right side of the body sticking out, feeling that stretch. or feel free to go in deeper until you do feel it. Deep breaths, get comfy, yet stay alert, stay awake. Presence within the body is noticing the breath, because by noticing the breath, you can notice if you're holding on to tension, and that could be holding on to emotions or physical injuries or just anything at all. When you notice the breath, it tells you everything there is to know about your state of mind right now, right here. What can happen is if you notice the breath, you might notice, for example, if you're breathing really deeply, you can feel if there's any resistance in the chest, in the belly, maybe even in the throat. When you notice that, you can target that specific body part and notice why that body part is holding on to the tension. And then you can use your mind to muscle connection to begin working on it, healing it little by little. Breathing deeper towards that area of the body. Another option is always placing a hand over that region of the body. If it was the diaphragm, you could place a hand over it and imagine sending energy through the hand into the muscle or organ. And when you're ready, we'll gently come back to the body, wiggle the fingers, the toes, and come back flat onto the back, arms extended to each side. Take a moment here to roll your wrists, your ankles. If you want to extend the limbs up and do that overhead instead, go for it. We're going to move into a pigeon pose, a half pigeon or supported. If you'd like, you can start with supported. If you're a little tight in the hips, this is always the best option. Hands can go on your hamstrings in the back or the knee in front, and then pull in towards yourself. Broaden the chest, pull the shoulders back. You don't want to lift the shoulders like this in the head. You still want to be pulling it back, staying comfy, yet still feeling that stretch. For those of you who are very flexible here or want that challenge, go ahead and come all the way up. You can start by laying down into fetus pose onto one side, and then rising up to seated. From here, this is where we'll go into our half pigeon. If you want that challenge, left leg extends back, right knee is pointed out to the side this way rather than in front like this. That would stretch a different muscle. We want the knee out to the side. Take a moment with the hands on the mat to open the chest, and exhale. You can lower down onto blocks, maybe your elbows, maybe your arms extend all the way up front. You can lower your forehead. Another beautiful option if you want props to help you is to grab a block. You can always place it all the way under the right hip if you are a little tight here. And you can have a bolster here right in front to lower down onto one ear. Just like that, for more of a restorative posture option. Staying here and closing down the eyes. A lot of times when we get into deep postures like this, we might clench the jaw a little bit or even lift the shoulders up towards the ears. Just notice the domino effect when you get into postures that might feel uncomfortable, and then consciously work on bringing those walls down as long as you're comfortable, as long as you're feeling safe. Deep breaths. If you have no props at all and you would like to go in deeper, you can reach the arms overhead. Even further, go for that stretch. Pull that right hip back. And when you're ready, we'll walk the hands all the way up towards the knees. If you're on your back, you can switch legs. So that would be the left leg over the right, like this. From there, you could grab the hamstring in the back or the knee in front and pull in. Or you're going into half pigeon like I was, where your knee is pointed out to the side. You're moving the heel up towards the front of the mat. You're starting off here, deep breath in. Exhale, folding down. Maybe onto blocks, elbows, or all the way onto your forehead. Deep breaths. This is the second to last posture. Take your time. For this one, we're pulling the left hip back, keeping the spine straight. Your hips should be at the same height. So it's not one hip that's higher than the other. Staying fully squared to the mat. Three more breaths. You've got it. Relax the forehead, the eyebrows. Breathing deeply. When you're ready, you can extend those arms further up front, go in deeper. And when you're ready, go ahead and walk the hands up towards the knee, maybe a little back bend moment. And if you're already on your back, you're exactly where we're gonna be. If you did half pigeon, just move all the way down onto your back for Shavasana, corpse pose, hands to each side, extending your limbs. If you'd like to use blocks, you can always do that. For example, you can use a bolster as well, place it under the knees, elevate the legs, and find a resting posture here, completely relaxed. Option to close down the eyes and find your rest. Feel free to stay here as long as you would like. Just to honor our time, we're going to gently begin to wake ourselves up once again. So if you feel the need or the interest to stay longer, you may stay longer in corpse pose, Shavasana. Otherwise, begin to gently move the fingers, the toes, the head. Eventually, go ahead and open up the eyes a little bit at a time. I'm going to pull the bolster out from underneath. Take a nice big stretch. You can follow me if you'd like. And knees towards your chest. Hug your legs one last time. Roll over to one side of your choice, fetus pose. And rise up to seated all the way. That's it, my loves. Thank you for joining. I hope you feel re-energized, you feel calm and relaxed. And that is it today. Thank you so much. Bye.